Hello, everybody. I today want to talk about team setup. In one hand, sometimes we think that it's too clear, like no issue with it. But I work a lot with startups and projects which just start setting the team. And sometimes it's over resources, sometimes under resources, not of people on their position. So I want to share with my experience and how we as a company work. Few words about myself. I'm co-founder and the CEO of Zenbit tech company. So I work with delivery. So team composition is part of my daily routine, I would say. Yeah, and let me share with my experience today with you. So first, what we will talk about today is I think that we need different teams based on project stage. And I want to share how we usually set up the teams in which stage. Also want to talk a little bit more about the interview and how to detect the right person, not only by position, but also by soft skills. I will less concentrate on the hard skills today, but more on the soft skills. Second one is soft skill interviews. So it's actually how on the interview understand that the person that will join your team is comfortable for you, it will be enough productivity, good communication, and actually what that expectation will be aligned when person will be before interview and after. And hard skill check notes, it's something that work fast, and information that I want to share with you is connected to products and creating like digital solutions. So let's start from how I separate the team and how I decide in which stage which people need it. So first stage, which I want to highlight is MVP, so minimal valuable product. It's very often when you just have idea and you need to test how it works, yeah, you go with MVP. To check the market, to check the feedbacks. And on this stage, I think that this is the minimum setup. It shouldn't be the full-time people, but this is the roles who will bring you the most value. When you will you get something in your mind, maybe you even have technical documentation or design, but from our experience, is very rare with customer came with, I would say, all the details. So this is when BA connected. So BA, the goal of BA is detect the first limits your scope for MVP to understand which feature will give you the most value. Yeah, we even have a separate podcast when we talk with our BA, and she said that sometimes one feature provide 80% of value and only 20% is the rest. And also prepare wireframes, prepare user story, prepare acceptance criteria, because it's very important, not just say for development team, hey, make me, I don't know, new CRM system. You need to clearly understand which pages you need, like what are these pages, what will be the user behavior on it, what will be the edge cases. I hope I didn't. Yeah, anyway, so this is what I mean is BA needed. So even if you just start, maybe even before you start any development work, before Trello board or Jira board or any instrument that you will use for management, you need somebody who will, with whom you will go through the flow and understand how the project works. After the first phase, maybe it will be BA for part-time, maybe 1 hour, 2 hour, or maybe it's, in our case, usually BA does not, for MVP, does not participate in the MVP. So she gets a requirement and then development team work with the rest, and BA is more like a consultancy in case of, I don't know, some sharing knowledge. And but when it's become next stages, BA is more and more in the team. Hope it makes sense. Next one is designer. BA and designer on the first phase work very close. They need to understand how it will be look for user, what is comfortable, what is not comfortable, what are best practice. Yeah, and also maybe on the later stage, designer will be support. Again, it's a designer, in most cases for MVP does not need for full time. So after design is created, maybe, I don't know, 40, 80 hours of time, depend on how big is MVP. But MVP usually, for us at least, is take 1-2 months. For 1-2 months, it's usually 40 hours is more than enough. Again, there are some cases, but take more general example. And after designer, or not connected at all, or connected when some change request came. This is maybe before development phase. So this is people who need to have to understand, to make all the changes before development start. Then development start, and on the development, sometimes when like customer came to us and he say, developer is enough, I don't need PM, I don't need QA. But on our practice, it's very bad approach. PM and QA shouldn't be on full time again. Developers, yes, maybe 2 developers. It's really depend on how many features you have. But PM should be the person who will control the communication between you and developer, who will set up the task, who will check the work, because even if the developer is self-responsible, very clear, have good qualification, and he's not management. He have a different mindset, and it's you will save much more time and cost if you will have separate person who will just spend some time per day or per week to manage the process. And QA also in our practice have separate people. It's much more efficiently than when developers check themselves. When you're very deep in work, you sometimes missed something just because you concentrate on other part and you don't think, like, you concentrate on one part and don't think about other part. So in our case, in our statistics shows that PMQA time usually from 10 to 30% of development time. And when we calculate, we usually take 15%. So as you see, it's from development time, so it's dependent. So if you will have, I don't know, 4 people, in most cases, I think it will be full time or maybe 6 hours per day person. But if it's 2 people, for example, for MVP, it's usually like from 1-2 hours per day, it's maybe less. On the planning phase is more time. On the testing phase, QA have more time, but during development it's less time that QA and PM dedicate to the project. But results that you have will really make it sense. So the cost that you will add extra to developers will much bigger than if you will pay extra or developer spend extra time for management himself and for testing. So this is for MVPs. Next phase, which I highlighted, is active development. So usually after MVP, there are like 2 ways. Or product starts growing money, or maybe investors provide money. Different scenarios, but in this stage, the team is growing. There are more features there are old tech debts. Usually, tech debts always exist in the project, and more project, it's always bigger technical debts, and developer need to go back to it. Unfortunately, I think it's part of how development works. And when you're in the active development, you need support code, you need to do refactor, you need to implement new feature, you need to react on feedbacks on the current features. It's quite a rush, especially in the first. So longer the project, more stable it become, and less rush the project have. So what very useful to have on the stage? First is product owner. So it's the person who will have vision about where company go. It could be owner of the project, it could be separate person who will analyze the market, see what the competitors have. It's very, very similar to BA, and sometimes for me even difficult to differentiate. But I would say that product owner is more about strategic planning, and BA is more about like describe and put everything in understandable way, yeah, and to see how some feature can be aligned with this project. Next one is support. So when product is grow, you will have more and more feedback. Some user can find some bug, or some user don't like something, and support on this stage is extremely important because it's satisfaction of your customers. Maybe it's not fully technical, and support shouldn't be technical, but it should be a person who can take feedback from end users and then see, okay, what is which questions are to business, which questions to the developers. Because to the business, usually these questions answered by, I don't know, product owner or by BA or maybe by PM, and development issues are in most cases talked with PM and check which are bug, which are feature, and set priority to their implementation if it's needed. And one more position, which in this stage very often is critical. It really depends how big the project is and how often the changes are. And it's automation QA. Manual QA is good, but we still it's still like resource. So one person have 8 hours to check all the feature each day, and he also can miss something, even with checklist, even with test cases. And automation key is when we have a script, we have a bot who check features progressively. And of course, more features you have, usually all features are covered with test case with automation tests, and all new features are tested manually and then covered with automation tests. And automation could not work without manual, because manual QA usually check more quicker, and he prepared or she prepared test cases, and then automation QA person, based on these test cases, create his like automation scenarios. This is approach shows us the best result on this stage. How long active development will proceed, it's depend on you. And of course, you can have, I'm not sure that you will have a couple product owners, but in most cases, your support team could be grow up, your development team could grow up. I don't think it's good to have multiple PM. I have seen such product when they are very big, but in that case, usually big product separated to some like departments, and each department responsible fully for their part of work. I just mean that these roles can grow up to multiple people. It's fine. It's more about which role we have. So we have a previous one, VA, designer, QA, PM, and we have product owner, support, QA. This is the minimum base which you need to manage the project on, again, on our experience. And a third phase, which I highlighted, is maintenance. It's when you don't have active development, maybe because you want to gather feedback from the market and see how it works. Or maybe it's stable, you don't want to add features because of some reason. Anyway, it's usually more relaxing way. It could be, for us, it's from 5 to 40 hours, but we also have support for full months, like 160 hours, but for one person. And even in this stage, we have the same team setup as we have for MVP. So it's PM, it's QA, and dev team. Usually, it's a difference between MVP and not MVP is amount and maintenance. Sorry, it's amount of time that person dedicate to it. And it's very comfortable to plan ahead. So when it's not in this when we think months before what we will implement. In this case, it's much more easy to detect the priority. Do we need product owner in this case, or do we need support? It's optional. For us, in most cases, this maintenance came after MVP before active development, or between one active development phase and other active development phase. So it's quite short. Actually, it's not always short. It should be from a couple months to years. I think 2 years, it was our biggest support. And for us, in most cases, this is team composition work perfectly, because product owner is about features. And if it's maintenance, in most cases, there are not a lot of features or small features, and customer usually covers this role. So he said what he wants, and PM, maybe together with BA, set up it as a tasks. QA, of course, needed in the same reason why for MVP, and dev team. Support could be or couldn't be. It depends how active users provide you some feedback and who will manage it. And automation QA, there are usually two options. Or there are not enough features to cover it, or it's already covered. So if it's everything already covered, then in most cases for us, it's not needed to have automation QAs for maintenance. But sometimes we have maintenance only for, like, the main task for maintenance is automation QA, because we know that it's our kind of technical depth when we have a lot of feature and we don't have automation test for it. And it's very good time to, when we don't implement new feature, we can cover everything with a test. So it's also kind of scenario. So I hope it was not very confusing. And I want, after we approximately talk about which people you need to create a product, I would like to talk about how to, like, find the right one. Because, okay, we have QA, yeah, or we have product owner. So who is this person? What sort of skills I expect? Should this person be, like, active in communication, or it should be attentive to details, or it should be more product concentration, or this person will not actively work with people, and he can, like, this is not our main priority. And I want to give some advice for you to maybe also improvements for this process. So first of all, this is what worked for us. I recommend the book Who. It's Jeff Smart wrote it, and a lot of people recommend it for me. And we read inside the company, we also read this book. It's for hiring top level people, but I think some items will be also very, very good even for beginning. And some of advice that I will say to you, it's what we take from this book, a little bit maybe adapt, and this give good result. And let's start from preparation. First is it's much more easier to manage your people if you have some recruitment system as Workable, Bamboo HR, like any that will help you understand who are in your in your queue. So who are in the stage of interview, who is in the stage on CV review, who in the stage of technical interview. And it will be also for you easy in the future prognose. For example, you have one QA, you can check previous statistic, how many people you need to send invite to, like to check CV, how many people you invite to interview to get this one more people. So you can understand how quickly you can close your available seat, I would say like that. Second one is you need to create a list of goals for each vacation. So, for example, for PM, stop automatic delivery pipeline, close first version in 3 months. So what you expect from this person during which period of time? Because you need to see for yourself, does this person productive or no? And what is your parameter of productivity? Maybe I would say that for me, it's more about hard skill. So what you can measure in numbers and what you will give your like your employee as a goal, because with the goal is you will give freedom for this person to somehow to manage their time process and so on, but you need to have these points to check, and if you will be aligned for checking points, it will be much more easy for both of you to go to the same goal, to same result finally. Maybe it sounds a little bit abstract, but it's really work fast, and it's increase our how long people stay in our company, and understanding between people and us, just because before we hire them, we understand what we expect from them. Here actually our example, I took like PM job post, yeah, which we set up. We have list of questions that we prepare for this work. Says, okay, position, stack, experience. Yeah, you need to understand how experienced person needed, because sometimes you need more junior or you need more senior, or you need to mix them. And for each experience, usually there are different like goal setup. Salary, okay. Test period, if you have some. Work format, location, okay, so this is maybe most standard one, but you still need to think about it, because, for example, based on location, there are different mentality, and it's very different topic and very big topic about how to discuss how different mentality and how different people, when work together, how productive they will be. Okay, deadlines. Here's responsibility. So what, as I said, what you expect from him, what will be the daily tasks? Because we also found that experience not always means that the same experience that you will have in your company and the experience that the person will have is the same experience. So this why responsibility help you to again to be on the same line. How many months does the project like take? Okay, what's the project about? Okay, feature of the project and what stage is the project? Okay, this is maybe more about the project and to personally understand what he is looking for. And here is a more soft skills question. What skills are important for us? What should we focus on? And here is responsibility, systematic, ability to analyze, attentive to detail, easy to communicate. And for each of this point, we have internally our interpretation. What is responsibility? So what this means for us? This means that if we have give task and give deadline, we need to have this task done in 10% difference, or we need to get feedback why it will take more time before deadlines came. So this is what you need to decide for yourself, what you make as responsibility or ability to analyze, or how you will check it, what is for you. What result you expect after 3 months? Yeah, get first MVP version, sprint planning, priority based on the first goal. So this is one of example what you can expect after 3 months. It also could be aligned with test periods. His test period I set up 2 months, but for example, you can set up 2 months and 2 months, and you can, because after test period, I assume that you will have a review, and on this review, it's very good time to talk with the person and see what expectation he have, what he get, and opposite, what our expectation was and what we get. What expect for after 6 months? Because again, you take person and thinking about long cooperation. So you need to set up goals for longer period. Sometimes we see goals only, for example, 3 months, and after 3 months you again set up for 3 months. It's also okay, but it's good to give some maybe helicopter view for person to see to check with him expectation less than for 1 year. Maybe it also will help him to check what he need to increase. Maybe he need to get extra courses, or maybe he need to get a mentor to upgrade his level to this expectation. Okay, this is team sign and whom contact to get a project. In one hand, this is questions answer are very easy, but just do it for each like job post, and you will see that with this and without it, your HR or person who check it, or even you, if you are the one who hires the people, you will see a big difference when you will check the person. You will not just like subjectively check, like, do you like him or no? You understand, okay, this is criteria which I need. This is what I'm looking for. It's very similar to strategy of the company. So in one hand, you can just somehow adapt, but in other hand, you can very clear understand whom you need and looking for like to filter by these needs. Okay, hope it's clear. Let's go next. Our hiring process, and maybe you can take something useful for you, is divided into a few phases. And first phases is, I would say, we get CV from some resource, I don't know, LinkedIn or Genie or like some local board of the country. And we check CV, and for example, a person is good for us. Firstly, we have a small chatting. So we ask some questions which help us for analysis. Sometimes this is enough to not proceed with the person to next stage. Sometimes it just like this answer help us to see person differently and have and based on them prepare questions for next stage, something like that. We also next stage is interview. We have 2 phases: is a soft skill interview and hard skill interview. Sometimes we have test task, and actually after that we have a decision. We make our interview process, especially like calling, we put 2 for now. We try to make 1, but we understand that it's very it's very expensive for us. It does not make sense because a lot of people do not pass soft skills interview. And for now we have 2 stages. If the company have brand and it's a big company, usually the people have more loyalty and they are open to have more stages interview. If you are not big company, I see that, at least in our experience, people less comfortable to have a lot of stages. So like 1, 2, maybe 3, even 3 is a little bit too big. Like 1, 2 is a best, like it's a optimal amount. Okay, let's concentrate on the messaging. So this question that we ask, when you can start working with your spoken English, I think the maximum, yeah, there are some duplicates. Okay, sorry. So a reason why leave while job, important of choosing company, have you worked in our staff for the companies, what size was the team, have you had experience working with domain, and how much time spent for education. Why is this question important for us? Let's start from, okay, spoken English is important for us, it's mandatory. So if somebody says that like my English is bad, in 90%, if it's not some very rush, we will not take such candidate. Leaving last company job. In most cases, you will not have a fair answer, I would say, because if the person was fired, I haven't seen the answers that I was fired because I was bad or something like that. So, but still, sometimes this answer give you some thoughts, or maybe like you will even you will detect on the later stage that this person is not say true. It will be good point for you to not believe him. Important to choose a company. When we just started, we have like people work with us, I don't know, half a year. Now it's about 2-3 years of work, what we see. And one of the reasons was that expectation, what they want from the company and how we work was differently. For example, we was too in rush, or and they want to be more calm. Or we all the time asking about, okay, what you improve and how you like teach, accept of the work, or like teach some stuff. And they understand that they need to be improved all the time, and it was not comfortable for some of them. So when we see what is important for them, for the company, we see, okay, based on it, who we are we aligned with this expectation? We are totally different. Our staff of first product companies, for us, is important because our staff usually are more quickly learning, because they have usually more smaller projects. On product companies, they are more about processes. Maybe sometimes they more, maybe even soft skills person, and they are fast, for example, too slow. For us, this question is most about speed. So if you're a product company, maybe for you it makes sense to take out staff because they usually have more experience with different project and can give you a few options about what is a better way. For product companies, they can provide only previous company experience, and maybe it's not relevant for you. On the other hand, if they work in product company for a long time and they can take experience from previous product company to your product company, so this could be also useful. Size of the team is also very important. For example, when you work with MVP, it's maybe 1 or 2 person work. Of course, it could be bigger MVP, but it's very often when you need to do something fast. To do it fast, you need smaller team to decrease time for communication. So in this case, the team and level of development. So in this case, person should be comfortable to work alone. Because I also find issues when they said, I'm not comfortable to work alone, I feel lonely, and person can just leave. So he need to understand that on which stage, which experience is better. Or for example, another case, person work with a team and he feel more comfortable alone, something like that. Or opposite, because your team is growing up and you need somebody who will be a team member and who work with, or your team is 10 person and person work with 20 person. So maybe this person will bring you some experience who will help you to scale your team. Okay, experience with domain. I think it's also important. For us, it's not the main criteria, but it's good to have, because like you as a company will have some knowledge base, you will have some expertise, and each person who came to you have own expertise, and if he will make your expertise more stronger by his experience, of course it will be plus for you. Maybe it will boost you, maybe no. In our case, as a healthcare, it's important, like security. Everybody talk about security. For financial operation, maybe we don't work much with financial, we're more with educational. With educational, it's actually very good to have some good experience with video and audio content, because they're quite slow and it's always problem with the speed. And if user have experience with similar, it's not only about area, you can check actually with experience. Maybe it was not educational project, but something else, and he have similar experience. But I just want to highlight that sometimes domain have something unique, which other person can make it stronger. How much time per month you spend for education? It's more for us, but I think it's always important. I found that for management, Actually, it's also for management that people after, I don't know, 2-3 years stop upgrading. They don't looking for more, I don't know, seminars, I don't know, meetups, conferences. They think that like they can get more experience by only by project, and it's project have very narrow window, and sometimes you need to check to other experience to make it window more wider, and to see maybe other opportunities or how to set up project process better. It's very often about the process and about work itself. And this is what I found. And we very often push to, okay, we ask, what have you teach, how you increase? Do you check something additional, or you only check what issue you have on the project? And based on that, you can decide by yourself what is okay for you. Does it enough for you when person concentrate only on problems on the project? Or you also expect some that person will check, like maybe not will be less focused, but in other can check more wider about what other opportunities maybe we missed, or we can move to that step. But it's always about balance, again, because you can always be a student. This will not be available at all. Okay, let me check. Yeah, and again, main point of this messenger questions is to very quickly cut the person who are not relevant for you. Okay, next one is soft skill interview. On the interview, everybody try to be perfect, but when you took them to the company, sometimes it's a gap between how person behavior was on the interview and after. Here I've put questions which we use. I will not go through all of them. I just want to highlight maybe the most valuable, not valuable, but which we add, and it's bring us the most of value. And I want to concentrate on the 1 minute. Yeah. So I want to concentrate on this one when I will ask them for feedback on your work, how they will rate. So I will highlight last message that we asked. It's about reference. So actually we ask the person when we will go for your references to your previous company, how they will what they will say about you. We ask these questions to compare what actually the company say and what person think that they will say. And for us, it's very often when we do not go to the company because a person says something like, oh, you go to get my previous experience references, can we skip it, or can you not ask I don't know, I don't have very good relationship with them, so can you not ask them, or something like that. It's not very often. I can say like that, but I just say that sometimes we have such cases. Maybe it's more about connected to mentality of Ukrainians, because references, I don't say that it's very popular way, especially in IT. At least when I ask like recruitment from other company, like, did you take reference? Like it's 50-50 sometimes. Big company, usually yes, but also not for every company before. Sometimes no, especially in small companies, they just skip it. And maybe when you are small, you also could skip it, but I say don't skip it. Like, it's your team, especially in the beginning, you need to have it productive. You need to get money to increase, to extend your business, and to do it, you need right people. It's always true. And yeah, this is what works for us greatly. And also it's very great when like there are also other cases why we think that this question important. It's sometimes persons say one items, yeah, highlight one items, but when we ask companies, they highlight other items. And it's also interesting to see this compare, and sometimes it gives some information for you which you was not expected. I think for us it's more like in bad case. So when we see the difference, we sometimes not okay that the difference so big, and we skip the candidate. But I assume that it also can have some positive cases. And one more is about when you ask questions, and when you like based on what important for you, you can go deep. So because sometimes person answers too much, or sometimes they answer like not too much. And like goal of the recruitment team is to go deeper and check what is under hood. Or for me, it's very also when I make an interview, sometimes I feel some trigger which I don't understand. I feel that something bothering me, something I feel that, I don't know, person is not fully honest, or and I sometimes even don't know what is the right word to describe this feeling. And then I try to ask deeper to find this, what actually this feeling came from. And it's very often when I like check deeper, I find this answer, and on my experience, this answer usually trigger me that something not good, so it's not the best candidate. But I also had case when I had this trigger, but after explanation, I understand that it's not really important. So it's fine. Like explanation sounds reasonable for me, and I don't have issue with it. So my point is dive deep. Don't just highlightly ask. Check deeper. Try to understand like the person mindset based on situation, based on his logic, how he's thinking, why he answer you like that and not like something else. Mm, yeah. Sorry, I just tried to remember what else I wanted to add. It. Yeah, I think about this one. I'm done. So just what again, like summary, make a list, go more deeper in the details if you see that something trigger you, and always take reference, and also say person that you take reference, and ask person what he thinks that previous company think about him. Very good working for us. Hard skill interview. For hard skill, I will not stay on it for a long time. It's really depend on who are looking you for, and which like hard skill for each position that I mentioned before is very, very different. What I recommend is that if you don't have enough resources to validate person, sometimes it's better to delegate. Because I have a lot of cases in my experience when people came to, like customer came to me and say, sorry. Yeah, when a customer came to me and say that, okay, like I don't know, previous developer do something bad, he disappeared, or I don't know, happened actually the result that he didn't get result. And I have last year the case when developer said that he could do the work, but actually he after said that he doesn't have enough knowledge to finish the project. And it's again, it's expensive, especially in the beginning. It's critical. So what I recommend in this case is again take takes extra help. So you can like ask your friends, ask somebody else's big experience, check in references, and this case when you think that okay, I will pay less, and it's okay for me to like, because I pay less, it's cover my risk. It's not work really like that, because it's always better to spend a little bit for consultancy. You will not pay a lot really, but better to pay for consultancy to help somebody to hire right person than finally do not have nothing, lose the motivation, lose money, lose time, your time, which I think very valuable. Okay, and also I want to like if go to next step, I want to make some notes about developer check. I found a lot of questions, a lot of companies who ask just theoretical questions. But when person, I'm not talking about development now, when developer looking for the job, but actually for PMs as well and BA as well, when person looking for the job, all these questions, answer for these questions, they get after second interview, because like I don't know, third interview, they're very quickly to adapt to it. And at least a few years ago, nobody wanted to make a test task. Nowadays is more easy, but again, it's dependent on position. Senior developer, very rare do test task. PM, I think at the senior level, for in my case, it's very rare do test cases. Like more junior or middle, maybe more. It again depends on position. So what we do from our case in this, and it's again work very good. It's not a like silver bullet, but work good. So we created a project which have quite bad code style and a lot of bugs. And the importance that this project could be set up on computer very quickly. So we have 1 hour interview, technical interview, and it should be enough time to set up this project and understand it at least briefly. And as we make a lot of mistakes, like we do it special to check the person, we have checklist about what actual mistake we made, and we check how many of these mistakes the person have been found during the interview. And it's work very great. For us, it's very important attention to details, because like everybody should be independent, and we try to avoid micromanagement. And this helps to see how person attended to details. So will we have a good code after? Will we have bad code? Can this person review other person if he does not see some mistakes? And also, this helps to understand us how quickly a person can adapt to new like reality task project. So because he just have 1 hour to understand what is project about, but it's really simple for me. But I see cases when like during this 1 hour I didn't get any normal result, and I was just understand that no, it's not about us. Again, for us, weekly is important because we start from MVP, and MVP is when you need to do something quicker. On later stages is less rush, but we need to be prepared for everything. And it's so why it gave like best result for us. Sorry, do I have? Yeah. What else give us a good result is also ask for code example instead of test task, for example. It's because when they provide the example of the code, they select the best one. It's always like you want to show the best. You are like try to find these pieces. And when you see what the person is the best, you understand he will not work like that always. So you just see, okay, if it's the best? What will be something in the middle? And you can understand, does it acceptable for you or no? Again, it's if you have enough understanding about how check the hard skills. If you don't have, like, ask for help. Don't take somebody just based on soft skills. Sometimes people talk very, very beautiful, and even I was in such I would say make such mistake when I see that very good soft skills, but when we check hard skill, we see that it's not enough for now. Maybe for future, after a couple of years, we can go back to this person and this will be perfect match. For now, it's no. Okay, and second one is ask about solving some algorithm task. It's not practical task in most cases, and many developer does not like it. But I still believe that it's a good way. But what we found is in practice that the results are very bad. People lost and can show good result in 30-40 minutes. And they lost sometimes because of nervous, sometimes because like in real time you very rare solving this algorithm experience. And what we done, like we make the task easier, so we take maybe the simplest one, but not the common, like simple but not common, and we try to give such task for 10-15 minutes. In most of case, developer go with the slowest solution. Again, I think because of pressure that he have on the interview, but even this mindset about thinking give us understanding about okay, how he work in the pressure, something like that. Also good one. Again, we before it was mandatory for us. Now it's not mandatory, but when we are not fully sure, we give such kind of task to maybe extra check. Okay, so like if summarize, I want that after this workshop, I would say like that, you not only you think about the team, how investment, and you think about who are the right persons that you need, and really prepare like checklist about how you will detect that this is the right person. You will invest once to detect this core, I don't know, core, I would say, core items, okay, but you will you can use them as a base in the future, or maybe you even can reuse them if it's work very good, because anyway, like different people, sometimes you can miss something even if you will read all the books in the world and you will the best like soft skills person. So yeah, and I hope that some of my examples and maybe some of my comments was not too long and give you understanding about how we work, and based on that make your improvement. If you check all the stuff by now, thank you for it, and please follow me on the LinkedIn. Also, I'm Instagram. I don't have here Instagram, but anyway, you can LinkedIn, email in case you have some suggestion or like anything interesting. You can contact me. You can also follow the QR code to not type all this link manually. Yeah, thank you very much, and like see you next time.